This is the safety video for how to use a glue gun in art class. We always want to make sure that we follow all safety instructions before we begin using these. You are trusted to use these safely and appropriately so that you don't accidentally get burned, classmate doesn't get burned, you don't accidentally glue stuff you don't want to together, etc. Okay? Please know that using this in the art room is a privilege and not all classes or all levels get to do this. Okay? So before we get started, we are going to make sure that our workspace is completely covered. So right now I just have a piece of scrap paper down. You could also have a piece of cardboard or manila file folder to protect your workspace. Okay, so you don't want to ever glue directly onto our workspace table. The glue, once it dries and sets, becomes very hard and it's ridiculously difficult to scrape off. Okay, so an item for a placemat down first. Again, this can be paper, it could be file folder, it could be cardboard, whatever you have available. Secondly, let's talk anatomy of a glue gun, okay? This handle down here, the plastic handle, and the trigger are not ever really designed to get hot, okay? So once this is plugged in, these two areas here should not be hot at all, okay? Once this glue gun is plugged in, you'll notice that up here, this area here, starts to heat up. This will become very, very hot, okay? So I wouldn't recommend holding this up here. You're gonna hold it by the handle and the trigger. Also, the metal part, okay, where the glue comes out is also very hot. So the way this works is when you plug the glue gun in, this stick of hard glue here, once you pull the trigger, makes its way to the inside here where the heating element heats it up and it squirts out this way, okay? It allows you to glue stuff together. So by pulling the trigger, it forces this glue through here from solid really to liquid form. All right, please keep in mind the following. There's no reason why you should touch this area, and there's no reason why you should touch this area, okay? When the glue comes out in liquid form, it is very hot to the touch. So please be aware of where your fingers are. If you get burned excessively, I'm gonna make you take the quiz again and or sit you out of using this glue gun entirely, okay? So please, please, please be careful, all right? You should not be gluing yourself, anybody else. There's really no accidents with this, okay? So please, please, please be very, very careful and use this safely, okay? Right now I have plugged this glue gun in. So this has been warming up for about 2 minutes or so. If you plug in this glue gun and immediately try and pull this trigger and use it, the glue in here is not yet liquefied, okay? So it's going to take a few minutes to heat up. So make sure you prep your workspace like so, plug it in, get the rest of your items set up before you try and start to use it, okay? So right now I have 2 pieces of slot sculpture that I would like to glue together. So right now, and again, you could be using this glue gun for any number of things, I have my pieces cut out. I have them slotted together. We'll also pretend for just sort of the nature of this video that I have painted these, okay? So these are set and ready to go. These are completely done. I'm just ready to attach it to my sculpture for it to be part of the whole unit overall. At this point in time, once all those steps are completed, I am ready to glue it together. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hold the glue gun like this, okay, in main handle part of my hand. I am going to pull the trigger. Okay, so when I push this trigger part in, let me see if I can zoom you all in. When I pull this trigger part in, a bead of glue comes out like so, okay? So just kind of keep in mind, you don't have to go over your glue area any more than that. You don't have to make it wider, okay? So if you press this steadily, if you press the trigger steadily, it'll come out sort of in a steady stream, all right? I am actually just going to add glue on all sides of my seam, okay? So I'm holding the tip further away from where I want to glue it so that it gives the glue room to kind of do its thing and just sort of be in that area, that seam where I need it to be. I'm going slowly. I'm trying to create an even glue line, okay? Now at this point in time, the area that I first glued, really after about 10 seconds, it starts to set, okay? So that means it starts to become hard or tackier to the touch, okay? Not in liquid form. I would say you have about 10 seconds to really kind of wiggle this in place if you need to readjust it, okay? Just kind of keep that in mind. Really after 10 seconds, you might have to pull it apart and start over, okay? I'm also gonna glue the other side of this because I want this to really stay together. So again, I'm gonna push the trigger in. I'm gonna keep the tip of my glue gun away from where I'm trying to glue it. I'm gonna put even pressure on the trigger, and I have a nice glue line. Same thing again. Even pressure on the trigger. Tip of the glue gun away from where I'm trying to glue, like so, okay? Now, one other thing I did want to show you is you'll notice that the glue stick here is starting to disappear because I'm using it, okay? What you can do at this point is, let's say the glue stick gets a little bit further down to this, this plastic part. It might look something like this one. See how the glue stick in this one has completely disappeared from that little window? What you can do is you can feed a new glue stick in through here, okay? And as you pull the trigger, okay, I'm just gonna show you how to do this. I want you to do it along with me. Just watch. As you pull the trigger, it sucks the new glue, the new hardening glue in through here, and then eventually it'll catch right here, okay? So it'll kind of catch on this plastic part and then pull it in through the inside, heat it up, and then it'll be able to squirt out to where you can actually use it, right? So in conclusion, please make sure that you are using this appropriately and safely. Please make sure you're using it on a placemat. This could be a piece of paper, it could be a piece of cardboard, manila file folder. Do not touch anything other than the handle or the trigger here, or if you're trying to feed in extra glue from this back part, that is more than fine. You should not touch this area here. It becomes very hot. You should definitely not touch this area here, okay? And I would highly recommend not touching the bead of glue that you have just squirted out, okay? Please make sure that you're only gluing items that you are approved to do so, okay? If you burn yourself excessively or are messing around with it, you're gonna have to watch the safety video again, and or you're going to lose glue gun privileges. Please, please, please be careful with this, okay? And only use it for your project.